Hello students, this is Shweta Roy. This video is for chapter 3 part 2 History Agrarian Structure under the British. In this video we are going to discuss about the impact of British agrarian policies. In that we have conflict of classes, impoverishment of the peasantry, disintegration of village communities, rural indebtedness, growth of commercial crops. Next topic is revolts of peasants. So in this we will discuss about different revolts of peasants. So these are some of the topics which we are going to cover in this video. So our first topic is the impact of British agrarian policies. In our previous video, we discussed about the revenue system of British. Now at first, British came to India as traders. Their only purpose was trade. But when they saw the wealth of the India and also they saw the political unrest in our country, the unstable political situation of our country which was there in 18th century, their political ambition aroused. They moved towards political settlement. Now they acquired new territories, and to maintain those new territories they needed strong army, also good administrative system. Now to maintain the expenses of huge army, also good administrative system will need the finance, and the company's expenditure. To meet all these financial expenditures, the company needed more financial resources. Now how they increased the financial resources? So to increase their financial resources, they need to maximize the trade. They bought raw materials on cheaper price from India and they sold the manufactured products on high prices in England. Also they collected land revenue from the provincial governments. So like this, they maintained their financial resources. They increased their financial resources to maintain the expenses of army, administrative system as well as company's expenditure. Now to collect the land revenue, they made many settlements which was one by one failed, as the company, the British, were only focusing on the benefit, more and more benefit. They hardly paid attention to improve the fertility of soil. They also not paid attention towards the condition of farmers, and the farmers were exploited. Their condition was very bad. So these all things brought a disastrous impact on the economy of the India. So we will discuss about the impact of those British agrarian policies which were made and which actually failed one by one. It was having disastrous impact on the economy of India. So we will discuss about some of the major effects of this agrarian policies. So the first is conflicts of classes. Because of their settlements, their new policies, there were many classes, different classes which arose in the society, and they used to have conflicts with each other for their own benefits. So we will discuss about this here. So the landlords were the intermediaries between the peasant and the company officials. They were the middleman. Landlords were the middleman between the company officials and peasants. These landlords were responsible for collecting revenue from the peasants directly. The state demand was fixed, but the jamindars tried to extract more and more revenue from the peasants. Now, in that condition, the peasants were not having that much of income. They need to give more and more revenue to the jamindars. So they were actually not having sufficient for themselves for survival of their own. So they sought help from the money lenders. Now, by this process, new social classes sprang up, like landlords, money lenders, traders, and peasants. So these kind of social classes sprang up, came forward, and often they got into conflicts for their personal benefits. So we can say that this British agrarian policies sprang up the new social classes in the society, and also they brought a kind of conflict in between them for their personal. Next topic is impoverishment of the peasantry. There was a decline of cottage industry. Actually, cottage industry means the people used to make some of the goods at their home and they used to sell it. So this was a kind of income for them. But when this import of British manufactured goods took place, because of this, the cottage industry was declined. And after that, the people turned to agriculture. Now you can see more and more people were there in the agriculture. So the pressure on the land increased. More and more people depend on the land for their income, for agriculture on their for their income. So the pressure on land increased. Also, the size of land holdings to be reduced. That means the size of land reduced. Now, the small pieces of land produced less. When production was less, the income was also less, and as they were not having sufficient income for their survival, the peasants turned to money lenders. Now, these jamindars resorted to physical assault and torture for their extraction of revenue. And they did nothing to improve the fertility of the soil. Now, these poor peasants depended entirely on the monsoon. So you can see there was a very harsh condition for the peasants. Their cottage industry was declined because of the import of British manufactured goods. Number of people increased in the agriculture. Pressure on land increased. Size of land holding reduced. Small piece of land produced less. So income was less. And as they were not having sufficient for them, they went to money lenders. Also, these jamindars resorted them physically and they tortured them for their extraction of revenue. But they did nothing to improve the fertility of soil, and thus you can see the condition of peasants was pathetic. Next is disintegration of village communities. Now the peasants were forced to leave their land holdings and go to other places of non-payment of revenues. If they are not able to pay the revenue, they were forced to leave their land holdings and go to other places. So this resulted in breakdown of traditional village communities. There was traditional village communities, and in that now peasants were forced to leave from their village. So there was breakdown in the traditional village communities. The joint families, they suffered a lot in this. Also, the village artisan had to make products suitable for the foreign markets so that Britishers can import that. So you see that they lived their own skill and they were making as per the foreign markets. They were making the products as for the foreign markets. So there was a kind of transformation, and the skilled workers, they transformed into wage laborers. Rural indebtedness. As we already discussed, because of insufficient income for survival of the peasants went to money lenders, and now these money lenders exploited the peasants. They charged high rates of interest on the money which they lent to the peasants. Also, the land of the peasants was confiscated in case of non-payment of debt. So, if the peasant was not able to pay the debt which he has taken from money lender, their land was taken by the money lenders. Also, the money lenders often resorted to fraud means. Like they were keeping false accounts. Also, they were registering more money than taken by the peasants. Now, like this, the farmers, the peasants were exploited. And as the farmers or peasants, they were unable to pay such a high rates of interest, they need to give their land to the moneylender, and like this more and more land came under the moneylenders. Next is growing of commercial crops. Now the Indian peasants produced not only for themselves, but they produced for the market, as per the market. So they produced the crops which were utilized by the British in their manufacturing industries. So like this, growing of specialized crops started. And in that, some of the crops were cotton, wheat, sugarcane, coffee, jute, indigo, oil seeds, etc. Also, the farmers were benefited in this because they got more money for production. Now, farmers depended on the middleman or the merchants for the sale of their production. Now, this middleman, they used to buy the crops from the farmers at much lower price than the market, and they used to sell it on high price, and like this they earned huge profits. So our first topic is the impact of British agrarian policies. In our previous video, we discussed about the revenue system of British. Now, at first, British came to India as traders. Their only purpose was trade. But when they saw the wealth of the India, and also they saw the political unrest in our country, the unstable political situation of our country, which was there in 18th century, their political ambition aroused. They moved towards political settlement. Now, they acquired new territories, and to maintain those new territories, they needed strong army, also good administrative system. Now, to maintain the expenses of huge army, also good administrative system will need the finance, and the company's expenditure. To meet all these financial expenditures, the company needed more financial resources. Now, how they increased the financial resources? So, to increase their financial resources, they need to maximize the trade. They bought raw materials on cheaper price from India, and they sold the manufactured products on high prices in England. Also, they collected land revenue from the provincial governments. So like this, they maintained their financial resources. They increased their financial resources to maintain the expenses of army, administrative system as well as companies' expenditure. Now we have the Pagalpanthis. It was a kind of semi-religious sect. They revolted in northern district of Bengal, which spread till the Garo hills. And their leader was Tipu. And they also supported the cause of peasant group. Then we have the Chaur rising, which took place in Midnapur district, which is in Bengal, and it was from 1796 to 1816. The next was the Khasis. These Khasis rebelled against the British policies in Assam and they were suppressed in 1833. Now there is the Farizis. These Farizis were the Muslim sect who advocated radical changes in social and political conditions of Bengal. They also supported the cause of peasants. Their leader was Dadu Mian. Now we have the Wahhabi movement. And the leader of Wahhabi movement was Sayyid Ahmad from Rai Bareli. He was actually the follower of Wahhabi sect which was formed by Abdul Wahhab of Arabia. Now these Wahhabis advocated the revival of Islam in India. Now under the British, they were deprived of their power and authority. They condemned the British policies and they spread anti-British sentiments. They were joined in their revolt by the peasants and artisans who were already suffering in the British rule. So these are some of the revolts of the peasants which took place under the British rule. I hope you all understood all the topics taught in this video. Thank you.